fast, accurate.
On World News Tonight this Saturday, the president's accusers wrap up their opening arguments.
These are not trivial matters. These are not partisan matters. These are matters of justice.
A massacre in Kosovo, a turning point in the region. The U.S. diplomat calls it an unspeakable atrocity. And in the Midwest and in the Northeast, finally a break from the snow. Now it's time to clean up.
From ABC, this is World News Tonight, Saturday.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Brown. The Republicans have now had their say, but just for now. Congressman Henry Hyde telling the Senate the impeachment of the president is not about who we hate, but what we love, the rule of law. The president's men will get their turn beginning on Tuesday afternoon. They must counter 3 days of frequently familiar but often powerful arguments that the president has committed high crimes that demand his removal from office. The day in the Senate, beginning with ABC's Linda Douglas.
In the final 4 hours of their presentation, the House managers shifted away from the details of the case to the big picture. Henry Hyde argued forcefully that the president's acts are not sexual transgressions, but violations of the public trust.
These are not trivial matters. These are not partisan matters. These are matters of justice.
Most senators sat in rapt attention as the managers focused for the first time on their conviction that Mr. Clinton must be removed from office.
For the president's premeditated assault on the administration of justice must be interpreted as a threat to our system of government.
His calculated and stubbornly persistent misconduct while serving as President of the United States has set a pernicious example of lawlessness.
Hyde argued not all lying by presidents should be impeachable. He suggested some lies on public matters should be tolerated.
Morally serious men and women can imagine the circumstances at the far edge of the morally permissible when, with the gravest matters of national interest at stake, a president could shade the truth in order to serve the common good. But under oath for a private pleasure?
One manager tried to assure senators that despite Mr. Clinton's popularity, removing him would not traumatize the nation because Vice President Gore is in the wings.
If that vice president is asked to come in and assume the mantle of the chief executive officer of the land, chief law enforcement officer of the land, it will be tough. It will be painful, but we will survive and we will be better for it.
Some Republican senators said after today, it will be difficult for Democrats to argue that the charges against the president do not constitute high crimes and misdemeanors.
I don't think the attorneys for the president any longer can say, well, assuming all the facts are true, this does not rise to the level of an impeachable offense.
But wait, protested White House lawyers, the House still has not proved conclusively that the president committed any crimes.
The House Republicans' case ends as it began. An unsubstantiated, circumstantial case that does not meet the constitutional standard to remove the president from office.
Many senators say they are waiting for the White House to put on its defense before deciding whether witnesses are needed. The White House will begin its case on Tuesday, just hours before the president is scheduled to address the nation in the State of the Union. Aaron.
And Linda, on the subject of witnesses, is there any formal plan yet to invite the president to come down and testify?
Not yet, but there was an important development today. The chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee, Orrin Hatch, says he thinks the president should come, though only be invited, not subpoenaed. But the House managers have not finally decided yet whether to ask the Senate to invite him.
Linda, thanks. ABC's Linda Douglas. We turn now to ABC News legal analyst Jeffrey Toobin, who has been watching it all, joins us from Washington. Jeffrey, on the subject of the president's testimony, he's pretty good in those sorts of situations as a lawyer. Do you think the president should come down and talk to him?
Well, Aaron, it's worth remembering that the last time the president testified voluntarily, it was before the grand jury, and he got impeached for his troubles. So it's something I think the lawyers want to stay very much away from. don't bet on any testimony from the president.
As you watched this all today, did you have the feeling at all that anything much had changed, that minds had been moved?
Not really. I was watching the senators, and they looked like they were faithfully reflecting the views of their constituents. They were tired, they were frustrated, they wanted out. Paul Wellstone has a bad back. Fritz Hollings was wearing Blues Brothers sunglasses because he doesn't like the light on his eyes. They want to get out, but no one has a clear route at this point.
And any sense that it's become more partisan over the last 3 days?
I think it has. I thought Henry Hyde's final address, with its evocations of the Gettysburg Address, of 1776, of D-Day, it showed how anxious the Republicans are to make this into an enormous event, and the Democrats are still saying it's small, it's about sex.
Jeffrey, thanks. ABC's Jeffrey Toobin in Washington. Republicans have quoted from great orators and statesmen in making their case against the president. That is a political tradition. In concluding today, Representative Henry Hyde found wisdom in the mouths of babes. As ABC's Jim Williams reports, that's a tradition too.
In his closing argument, Henry Hyde spoke the words of the founding fathers and an 8-year-old boy.
It is important to believe the president because he is an important person. If you cannot believe the president, who can you believe?
Hyde read a letter he received from Chicago third grader William Preston Summers. The boy who watched Hyde on television wrote that he is punished when he lies, and the president should be too.
It is bad to lie because it just gets you in more trouble. I hate getting in trouble. It's just like the boy who cried wolf and the wolf ate the boy. It is important to tell the truth.
Also this week, the president's opponents aired a radio ad featuring a child reading a letter to Mr. Clinton.
So technically, I wasn't lying, but Dad got mad and put me on restriction. I was kind of hoping for a censure. Could you call my dad? He'll believe you, because you can explain lying better than anybody.
Polls show a large majority of Americans do not want the president removed from office, so Republicans are turning to kids to change public opinion. The use of children to make political points has a long history. Back in 1964, Lyndon Johnson ran an ad showing children would be in danger of nuclear annihilation if his opponent, Barry Goldwater, became president.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Mr. President, it's time for you to put our country and our children first.
The psychology behind it, simply put, would be that kids are a very universal and unifying factor in an age when politics is denounced by both Democrats and Republicans.
William's father says he ordered his son to write to Hyde because the child himself had told a lie. Today, an 8-year-old boy became the most recent child to be used in a political debate. Jim Williams, ABC News, Chicago.
Tonight, the Senate is in recess, but the debate will continue. 3 senators and 2 Republican House managers among the guests tomorrow morning on This Week with Sam Donaldson and Cokie Roberts. And as we continue on World News Tonight this Saturday, hideous crimes in Kosovo, dozens of people murdered in a new round of violence. An Olympic gesture in scandal-scarred Salt Lake City. And the cash register ring of Mike Tyson's return.
This is World News Tonight, Saturday. Brought to you by the American Plastics Council.
3 minutes from now, a heart attack victim will be rushed into this emergency room. Medication will be injected. IV fluids will be needed. The patient will be protected from infection. Breathing will be assisted. And one more life will be saved.
Mrs. Hanson? Yes. Hi, I'm Dr. Moore. Her husband's doing fine. Oh, I'm so glad.
Thanks to advanced medical techniques and a material we call plastic.
Sis, I snooped in your medicine cabinet. So? You switched to X-Lax.
Yeah, Correctol works with something artificial. X-Lax works with natural senna.
Very effectively, too.
You tried it.
What a find.
What a snoop.
Good morning, guaranteed.
With all we have to do today, does it make sense to keep color on your hair for 30 minutes when you can get rid of the gray in 5? Just 5. Great color, body, and shine in 5 gentle minutes. Just 5. Smart hair color. Works for me.
I ate Quaker oatmeal for 30 days. It helped me cut my cholesterol by 15 points. How would you describe that, Bob?
A little off the top.
Quaker oatmeal warms you heart and soul.
For beef up Brummel and Brown, the taste that's sweeping the town.
Why are so many people going bonkers over Brummel and Brown spread? Must be that creamy taste of butter blended with the wholesome goodness of yogurt. Save a bundle on Brummel and Brown with the coupon in Sunday's paper.
It may turn out that today is the day when the world finally took note of the conflict in Kosovo. Up to 40 bodies were discovered in a village there today. The victims were ethnic Albanians, the killers Serbs who control the area. The Serbs called it an attack on terrorists. Massacre is the word the rest of the world is using tonight. Here's ABC's Hillary Brown.
Their bodies were found in a shallow trench on a hillside above the village of Račak in southern Kosovo. Most of the victims were men in civilian clothes and had been shot at close range. Some were mutilated. Witnesses say most were too old or too young to be rebel fighters. Grief-stricken relatives picked their way among the pile of corpses, looking for loved ones. Serb security forces surrounded Račak yesterday. They moved in with well-armed special anti-terrorist squads. They say their assault was in response to attacks on their own police by the Kosovo Liberation Army. Half of the people they arrested and beat up, says the survivor. The rest you can see here. We don't know what we're going to do. The head of the International Monitoring Mission, William Walker, was visibly shaken as he viewed the grisly scene today.
Let's give him the dignity of covering him up.
The Serbs had refused to allow him and other monitors into the village yesterday.
This is about as horrendous an event as I've seen. I've been in some pretty nasty situations.
This is probably the most savage, bare-faced attack on civilians since this conflict intensified a year ago, carried out as unarmed international monitors watched helplessly from a hilltop. Experts say the Serbs are sending a clear signal.
Serbia is fed up with international monitors, wants to get rid of them, and to the Albanians that there's now not going to be any restraints.
Račak is almost certainly the end of the shaky ceasefire brokered 4 months ago. In the absence of any political solution, it could well be the start of all-out war. Hillary Brown, ABC News, London.
8 years ago today, the United States and its allies launched Desert Storm, the effort to force Saddam Hussein's occupying army out of Kuwait. But for all its success, Desert Storm did not end the Iraqi threat in the region, and the United States and its allies are still looking for a solution. Here's ABC's Martha Raddatz.
In Baghdad today, Iraqis were vowing to defend their president with their spirit and their blood, which is precisely what Saddam Hussein has demanded of his people throughout the 8 years since the U.S.-led war on Iraq. The Iraqi people have endured repeated missile attacks and stiff UN sanctions, yet still show loyalty to their leader.
Saddam Hussein is good at one thing, keeping himself in power in Iraq. And at that, he is the master of the game.
A game that is increasingly costly to the United States. Last month's airstrikes and maintaining a force in the Gulf has run into hundreds of millions of dollars. But last December, the U.S. felt it had little choice but to move from diplomacy to force.
We will pursue a long-term strategy to contain Iraq and its weapons of mass destruction and work toward the day when Iraq has a government worthy of its people.
Administration officials say Saddam Hussein has been contained, but only for the time being, and plans to financially support opposition groups to overthrow him are being met with skepticism.
We ought to be working, I think, if we can, to get rid of him, but I wouldn't put much hope in it.
But hope that Saddam Hussein will behave seems to be a major component of U.S.-Iraq policy. There has been a promise of renewed attacks if Iraq builds up its weapons of mass destruction, but beyond that, there is little evidence of U.S. planning on how weapons inspections might resume.
We have not put forward a proposal on the inspection and monitoring issue.
The U.S. did propose this week that Iraq be allowed to sell more oil in order to buy more food. But as far as getting the weapons inspection program back on track, it is meaningless. But as the last 8 years have shown, even when weapons monitors are in place, Saddam Hussein remains a threat. Martha Raddatz, ABC News at the State Department.
Still ahead tonight, keeping up with what's come down. A trip through the Northeast and the chilly Midwest.
These days in Washington, there's more heartburn than ever, and more burning, and more pressure.
More pain.
It's time someone did more about it, too.
Alka-Seltzer does more with more medicines to speed complete relief to your worst heartburn and pain. Alka-Seltzer, more complete heartburn relief.
Who can resist?
Hey, guys, I got one!
An interesting twist. Like Kellogg's new Nutri-Grain Twists in 3 deliciously twisted new flavors.
Bye, he's too small. Going back.
Overactive bladder.
That strong, sudden urge. Having to go so often. The fear of wedding accidents.
If you're one of the millions who live with some of these symptoms, there's something you should know. Overactive bladder isn't normal at any age, and your doctor has treatments that can help.
Need a break? I can wait.
These treatments can help reduce the symptoms of an overactive bladder.
You want to go back?
In a while.
Overactive bladder isn't normal at any age, so talk to your doctor today about treatments that can help.
That weight on your shoulders looks pretty heavy, son.
It's taxes.
Go on.
Not just my taxes. I'm doing my sister's, my nephew's. Everyone's getting married, having kids. I don't even know if I'm doing them right.
Son, there have been over 800 tax law changes. Maybe they're expecting too much of you.
Yeah. Hey, I don't think I got your name.
H&R Block. We know. Do you?
Around here, we're pouring something new on our salad. Because the people at Kraft figured we might like a light dressing that actually tasted good. So they made Light Done Right. Finally, our favorite flavors with half the fat. They're new, and they taste a lot better than anything light has a right to. Light Done Right. I guess they just know what we like. Around here, the dressing is Kraft.
Old friends, new morning. Good Morning America, now with Diane Sawyer and Charlie Gibson.
Can you feel the chemistry?
Starting Monday, there's no better way to start your day.
What has seemed like a never-ending storm across much of the Northeast and the Midwest finally ended. But oh, what a mess it has made, and that mess must be cleaned up. Here's ABC's Bill Redeker.
For 2 weeks, some postal carriers in Detroit had been unable to deliver the mail. Motor City was anything but, due to heavy snows and a severe shortage of snowplows. But today, the big chill was followed by the big thaw. The mail was finally delivered.
It's hard. You can't just come in with the vehicle because I've gotten stuck about 3 times this morning.
For some residents, the city's inability to clear the roads was more than just an inconvenience. Margaret Albu was being treated for cancer.
I called the hospital and I told them I had to cancel my appointment because I didn't get their letter.
They were also thawing out in the east today. Following Thursday's ice storm that triggered one of the worst power outages ever in the Washington, D.C. area, utility crews reconnected most of the electrical service today. Welcome news at community shelters.
Last evening, we consolidated down to 3 shelters because we only had a total of 100 residents.
The winter thaw stretched as far north as upstate New York, but Buffalo and Watertown are still buried under as much as 6 feet of snow. An 8-year-old girl died after becoming trapped in a snowbank. The storm that made Manhattan miserable yesterday was all but forgotten today, as warmer temperatures made it seem almost spring-like. Almost.
Why has the weather changed? Meteorologists credit a powerful weather phenomenon they refer to as a zonal flow.
That's when warm winds originating over the Pacific Ocean blow eastward, in this case through the upper Midwest and Northeast. The result is milder conditions. In the west, the zonal flow is also triggering a series of storms, bringing rain to the Pacific Northwest and snow to the Intermountain states. But the rest of the country will enjoy above-average temperatures for most of next week. Bill Redeker, ABC News, New York.
A wedding unlike most others took place in Sacramento, California. Today, 1,000 guests witnessed the marriage of 2 women. The ceremony led by 84 Methodist ministers, part of a protest against the United Methodist Church policies on homosexuality. The church has a law against this sort of marriage. 63-year-old Ellie Charlton and 68-year-old Jean Barnett have been partners for 15 years. They are married tonight. Coming up next, the city at the center of the Olympic bribery scandal gets a vote of confidence and $5 million.
Teddy Gibbs can't let a sore throat stop him, even when it feels this raw. He toughs it out through the hacking cough, the aches, the fever. But when the job is done, he's desperate for fast, powerful Theraflu relief. With the first sip of that soothing lemony hot liquid, he feels comfort instantly. Soon his throat feels calm, his cough quieted. Maximum strength Theraflu, now in new cherry sore throat and cough. Instant comfort, powerful relief.
Tonight's the night, your work is done. It's time to kick back and have some fun. The downbeat thumping, this joint is jumping. Let's make some whoopee.
You've got all the right moves in the quick and nimble DeVille with the North Star system. So kick up your heels and show the world you haven't lost a step.
Let's do some chilling. You know you're willing to make some
DeVille,
whoopee.
for the time of your life.
Searching for an echinacea to help support your immune system? Nature's Resource knows you should look for an echinacea that contains glucoric acid and polyphenols to get results. And unlike some, Nature's Resource guarantees the potency and purity you need. Make your herbal resource Nature's Resource. Follow the knowledge.
I thought you were starting to go gray.
I was, but I never did.
So what happened? A miracle?
You can't tell?
Tell what?
I use Just for Men.
That's hair color?
Even your barber can't tell you use the hair coloring called Just for Men. Simply shampoo in, then rinse. In only 5 minutes, this unique Just for Men formula blends away the gray, actually matches your gray to your real color.
I never would have guessed.
Just for Men, so natural, even your barber can't tell.
The Salt Lake City Winter Olympics, now tarred by a bribery scandal, finally got some good news today. The kind of news that can keep the games from being moved from that city. Key sponsor is back on board. Details from ABC's Tom Foreman.
When U.S. West suggested it might back out of its $60 million Olympic sponsorship, it opened the floodgates. Within days, sponsors from Coca-Cola to UPS were questioning the value of the games. But today, the phone giant handed the Salt Lake Olympic Committee $5 million, its first payment, and said the problems are being corrected.
We are a sponsor, we are investing significant dollars, and we expect to have the kinds of returns associated with the sponsorship that we originally intended when we made our commitment to the Olympics.
Salt Lake's troubles are still roiling the Olympic world. 4 investigations are underway. The International Olympic Committee expects at least 9 of its members to be forced out, and some say unless the entire IOC reforms, the corruption will remain.
It's like a cancer. It can erupt someplace in your body and you cut it out. And then it erupts someplace else and you cut it out. Well, you haven't solved the problem. The cancer is still there.
Even with all of these problems, however, Olympic organizers here are hoping this change of heart by U.S. West will be a signal to other corporate sponsors to get publicly behind the Olympics again.
They have already, made a substantial investment in the preparations for the games, and I think it makes a lot of sense for them to continue, follow through.
Frank Jochlik, who resigned as head of the Salt Lake Committee, could not save his job, but he and many others here are hoping the image of the Salt Lake Games will be salvaged. Tom Foreman, ABC News, Salt Lake City.
When we come back in the ring with Mike Tyson.
You're short of breath. There's pain in your chest. You may be having a heart attack. Now, what do? Call an ambulance. Good. And take Bayer aspirin. It's now been proven that aspirin can do more than help prevent second heart attacks. Now, Bayer may actually help stop you from dying if you take it during a heart attack. Talk to your doctor now. Do you know where your Bayer is? Bayer, powerful pain relief, and so much more.
Last week, price-conscious shoppers were asked to try a detergent in disguise. Woo! They have no idea it's Gain, and they have no idea we're coming.
No one's here right now, but we're just sitting around waiting for someone to come home. And waiting,
Waiting.
Who can resist
You're getting big.
an interesting twist? Like Kellogg's new Nutri-Grain Twists in 3 deliciously twisted new flavors.
Anybody want to walk for a little while? No, me neither.
Take these off. Put these on. It's time to take a little trip where the water is fine and the crab legs are steaming hot and delicious. And for a little while, they're just $9.99 a pound. Escape to Red Lobster.
On 2020 Sunday,
Imagine sending a child to college only to mourn him weeks later. A story of hazing that shocked the nation on 2020 Sunday. Then, on an all-new Practice, Bobby's being judged in and out of court.
I had an erotic dream about you.
The Practice, ABC Sunday, 10/9 Central, right after 2020.
Finally tonight, the return of Mike Tyson one more time. In the last 7 years, Tyson has fought just 22 rounds, not very much. But when he gets in the ring tonight in Las Vegas, he will still be boxing's biggest draw. Well past his prime, not nearly the fighter he once was, Tyson can sell tickets like nobody else. Here's ABC's Jane Clayson.
Mike Tyson weighs in at 223 pounds.
When Iron Mike Tyson steps back into the ring tonight, it won't be his first comeback, but he says it should be his most exciting.
Just come on Saturday night. Guys will get a good treat.
Tyson's matchup tonight against South African Francois Botha will be his first fight since June of 1997, when he chewed off part of Evander Holyfield's ear in the #1 pay-per-view bout of all time.
Look at him. You can see it. You can see it. There it is.
For that, Tyson lost his boxing license and a year and a half of his career.
I was defending myself, sir.
You were aware of what you were doing when you bit his ear?
Also, I was fighting for my life at the time.
Tyson has often acted as though he was fighting for his life, whether at the rape trial that landed him in prison for 3 years, or because of his choice of handlers, who he says left him near financial ruin.
But you gotta step around, though.
But even now, after 19 months out of the ring, and with a chance for a fresh start,
Okay.
Tyson seems as angry and defiant as ever.
Well, it's a fight, so whatever happens, happens.
Mike, why do you have to talk like that?
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you. You have a problem, turn off your station.
But it's that unstable bad boy image that critics say will sell tonight's fight.
It really isn't great boxing anymore at the level of Muhammad Ali or Ray Robinson, but people will buy the fight to see if he snaps and goes berserk.
And that will make the pay-per-view potential of this fight more than $100 million. Add to that the millions in tourism and gaming revenue, and you understand why promoters are so happy to get boxing's top cash cow back into the ring. Tonight the arena is ready, so are the fans. The question is Mike Tyson? Jane Clayson, ABC News, Los Angeles.
And that's our report for tonight. Tomorrow on Good Morning America Sunday, have we become a culture of cheaters? The God Squad on the fallout from the impeachment trial. Hope we'll see you then. I'm Aaron Brown in New York. Good night for all of us at ABC News.
Tomorrow, fertility treatments, fertility drugs, a hot topic that's making headlines, but with it comes a big ethical dilemma. A look at the moral crisis on World News Tonight, Sunday. This has been a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source. ABC